Hello, 6th grade. Today's homework is more challenging than some that I've asked you to do this year. Right? You can do it, but you'll need a calculator. And the third one is definitely challenging because it's got fractions, but you can reason your way through that one too. All right, so the very first thing each box asks for is the equation for the diagram. So I want you to remember that one side equals the other side. So I'm going to put a big equals here. And then I'm going to look at what I have on the left side. I have a y and a y and a 10. Together, these are two y's. So on the left side, I have 2 y's and a 10. So I'm going to write 2y and a 10. On the right side of the hanger, circle that in blue, is the number 31. So on the right side is 31. So this is the equation. 2y plus 10 equals 31. Underneath that, there are two things for you to answer. The first one says 2y equals something. Well, if I look over here, I see that there's already a 10. And I'm trying to make 31. So what I'm really asking myself is 10 plus blank equals 31. And I can try a bunch of different numbers. In my calculator, I can do 10 plus 5. Oh, I'm a long ways away. 10 plus 30. Oops, you can see I even put in 11 there. All right, let's try again. 10 plus 30. All right, that's too big. All right, so again, I'm looking for the number that goes right here in the blank. And if you don't know what it is, you could, instead of making this be a plus problem, you could change it around. So the number at the end, 31, take away 10. That'll give you the question mark. 31, take away 10. And I'm going to try one more time to hit the right button. 31, take away 10 is 21. What this means is that these two y's together are 21. Because if I do 21 plus 10, now, 21 plus 10, I'll get 31. So this now means this side equals 31, just like this side equals 31. Okay, in this blank, it says 2y equals, we just said that 2y's is 21. Now, what's tricky about this problem is that this is an odd number. In class, we've only had even numbers with two variables, two circles, or two triangles. So what I really want to know is, what number could I put on top of each of these y's so that together it's 21? I could put 10 and 11 because 10 plus 11 makes 21. But I can't put 10 and 11 because those are both y's. They have to have the same number on it. So 10 plus 10 is 20. And if I change it so it's 11 plus 11, that's 22. That's too much. So instead of guessing, what I'm going to do next is say there's 21 and it's split equally into two circles. That's divide by. 21 split into 2 is 10 and a half. That's what I could put inside each one, 10 and a half. So if I add that together, 10 and a half plus 10 and a half, it's hard to get the zero here, 10 and a half plus that bottom 10, that one right there, 10, now I'll get something went wrong. 10 and a half, 10 and a half, because it's 11. Sheesh, this is really tricky. 10 and a half. 10 and a half plus 10 and a half plus this bottom one is 10. This time I'm going to make sure it says 10. It does. That equals 31. The first time I did it, I tried to press 10, but it said 11. So what did I put on top of those y's? 10 and a half. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the next problem. On the left, it says 6.8, 6 and 8 tenths. So for the equation on the left side of the equals, I'm going to write 6 8/10. On the right side of the equals, remember that goes in this blank here, equals. On the other side, I see z's and 2.2, 2 2/10. I see two z's, so I'm going to write two z's, and that's plus, two z's and, looking back at it, it said 2.2, 2 2/10. This one's trickier because it has decimals, but I'm going to use my calculator. I know that these two z's plus that bottom box have to equal 6.8. Z plus 2.2 equals 6.8. So these two together have to equal 6.8, the number by itself, minus 2.2. Let's try it out. 6.8 minus 2.2. Let's try this again. 6.8 minus 2.2. You can see it didn't go in 0.2. There it is. 6.8 minus 2.2, 4.6. These two together equal 4.6. So now when I add 4.6, 4 6/10 plus 2.2, 2 2/10, I should get the number that's hanging on the other side. Let's try. 4.6 plus 2.2. Make sure your calculator says what you want it to. It's hard when my calculator is so small. Equals, look at that, it matches 6.8 and 6.8. So those two z's together, that 4.6, I can put right here. Two z's together equal 4.6. Then I'm going to rewrite it. Your job is to figure out what goes on top of each z. And then try the bottom one. I know it's got fractions. We'll go over it tomorrow in class, right? There's a lot of different ways to put fractions in a calculator. So see if you can find a button for fractions on your calculator. If you can't, we'll look at it in class tomorrow with a calculator that you know how to use for fractions. Good luck. You can do it. I know it's challenging, all right? Give it your best shot.